Thought humiliation could echo, but it does. It echoes in your chest at 3 a.m. It echoes when the house is quiet. It echoes when someone you love looks at you like you're not enough. My name is Daniel. I'm 39, and last year I learned something brutal. Sometimes the person you build your life around is quietly preparing to replace you. My wife, Laura, had just been promoted to regional director at her marketing firm. She'd worked hard for it. Late nights, business trips, endless Zoom calls. I was proud of her. So when she said she wanted to host a small celebration party at our house in Denver, I handled everything. Food, drinks, decorations, invitations, because that's what supportive husbands do. 14 years of marriage. No cheating, no scandals, just normal ups and downs. Or so I thought. That night, our living room was filled with her colleagues, friends, and a few neighbors. Music playing, wine flowing, laughter everywhere. Laura looked radiant, confident, powerful, and distant. I noticed it, but I ignored it. Then came the speech. She tapped her wine glass. Everyone quieted down. She smiled. And then she said something that split my life in half. "I just want to thank everyone who supported me through this journey," she began. People clapped. Then she laughed lightly and said, "And honestly, I had to become stronger on my own. Sometimes you realize you've outgrown certain parts of your life." The room chuckled awkwardly. I felt something shift. She continued, "Success changes you. It makes you realize you deserve more." More? More what? Then she looked directly at me. "In fact," she said calmly, "Daniel and I have decided it's time to move in different directions." The room went silent. I blinked. "Wait, what?" She smiled like she was announcing a vacation. "We'll be filing for divorce." Laughter died. Whispers began. And I stood there, in my own house, at a party I paid for, being informed of my divorce publicly. She didn't argue with me that night. She didn't apologize either. She acted like it was a business decision. "We've grown apart," she said later in the kitchen while guests awkwardly left. "When were you planning to tell me?" I asked. She sighed. "I didn't want drama." Drama. Right. Apparently being blindsided in front of 30 people was less dramatic. She packed a suitcase that night, moved into a corporate apartment 2 days later, filed for divorce the following week. It was clean, efficient, emotionless, just like she had become. People assume revenge stories start with rage. Mine started with silence. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't post cryptic quotes on Facebook. I went quiet. Work, gym, therapy. I stopped drinking, started running, lost 25 pounds in 4 months. But it wasn't about abs. It was about control. Because when someone publicly strips your dignity, the only thing you can control is who you become afterward. About 5 months after the divorce, a mutual friend told me something. Laura had been seeing someone. Before the party. Her VP. Married, of course. Apparently they'd been emotionally connecting during business trips, so the speech wasn't empowerment, it was justification. She needed to frame me as something she had outgrown so she could step into her new life guilt-free. That realization hurt more than the divorce, because it meant the party wasn't impulsive, it was planned. Fast forward 12 months, I had changed. New job. Better position. Therapy helped me understand something. I wasn't weak. I was steady. And steady doesn't shine at parties, but steady builds futures. I bought a smaller house across town, made it mine. Minimal, clean, calm. No echoes. Just peace. Then one evening my phone buzzed. Laura. I hadn't heard from her in almost 8 months. I let it ring. She called again. Then texted, "Can we talk?" We met at a coffee shop. She looked thinner, tired, not powerful, just human. After small talk, she said it. "I made a mistake. Classic. Apparently, her VP had gone back to his wife. The company had restructured. Her new, exciting life wasn't so exciting anymore. She said she missed stability, missed home, missed me. I thought success meant leveling up, she admitted quietly, but I confused excitement with happiness. I just listened. She started crying. In 1 year, you look different, she said. Stronger. Funny how silence builds muscle. Then she asked the question I didn't expect to hear. Would you ever consider trying again? There it was. The same woman who announced my replacement in front of a crowd now wanted a second chance. And I realized something. A year ago, I would have said yes immediately. But growth changes your standards. I looked at her calmly. Why now? She hesitated, because she didn't want to say the truth. Loneliness, regret, fear. Not love. Fear. People expect dramatic revenge, public rejection, cruel words, humiliation returned. But real revenge is quieter. I smiled gently. I forgive you, I said. Her eyes filled with hope. But I don't want you back. The hope faded. I don't hate you, I continued, but I deserve someone who doesn't need to lose me to realize my value. Silence. She nodded slowly. For the first time, she looked small, not powerful, not above me, just equal, human. We didn't fight, we didn't scream. She left the coffee shop quietly. And this time, I wasn't the one being left. Here's what I learned. When someone publicly humiliates you, don't compete, don't chase, don't prove, just build. Because sometimes the loudest comeback is becoming unrecognizable to the person who underestimated you. And sometimes the person who thought they outgrew you realizes they downgraded themselves.